Welcome, I'm Will Bradley, head coach for Team Omega Wolf, as well as the co-host for the Natural Born Hunter podcast. And today we're going to be talking about the Train to Hunt Challenge and some of the tips and tricks you can use to get yourself ahead when it comes to game day. At the end, I will post a little clip that will have, weights, age divisions, all that kind of stuff, just so you can see that. So if you hang in and wait, you'll see that at the end. First thought on my mind is the change for the 3D challenge course. Now, for those of you who don't know, the 3D challenge course is made up of different types of shot scenarios, whether it's kneeling, 2 shots in 10 seconds, that kind of thing, that are really only see in the Train to Hunt competition. You won't see it in your normal 3D. It used to be 30 targets. Now it's 19 targets. For those of you who don't know, the quick math on that is around 3.3, something like that, points per target, to now what's 5.2 points per target. That's almost double the value. Targets are almost double the value of what they used to be. That's right, double the value of what they used to be, making shooting far more important than what it was last year, because what you shoot in that 3D round is your score. And I'm telling you right now, there's guys out there who are going to come close or maybe even clean that course. So if you're shooting in the 70s, which I see 70-80 is about average, you're putting yourself in a huge deficit that will be very, very hard to make up in the challenge course, because there's no longer a challenge course in Meat Pack that gives you 2 events to make up what could be poor shooting. You now have to dig yourself out of a monumental hole if you shoot a bad first round to in that 3D course in the challenge course. So that's something to think about. You should be practicing your archery. You should be practicing these specialty shots, because from what I hear, most of the shots are going to be made up of those special Train to Hunt type style shots that put you in that practice for actual hunting scenarios. In the challenge course, for those of you who don't know, it used to be a challenge course and a Meat Pack. Now you're going to have the challenge course followed directly into the Meat Pack. So that means it's no longer 2 events, but 1 event, which is worth 150 points. So you've got 100 points up for grabs in that 3D course, and you have 150 points up for grab in that challenge/Meat Pack course. And guess what? There's 6 shots you have to pull off in that challenge/Meat Pack course. About 2 miles of running in that challenge course, made up with some obstacles in there. I'll also list those at the end. You can get a possible 30 seconds off your time for everything you get in what would be considered like an IBO 10 ring. In Train to Hunt, it's a 5 ring they call it. Or you can end up adding 30 seconds if you get it just outside of it, stuck in the animal somewhere, outside of what would normally be an IBO 8 ring. In Train to Hunt, it's the 3 ring, or in the 1 ring is what they would call that penalty area, just hitting the animal and sticking it. Or if you miss, you're doing burpees. So shooting, super, super, super important right out the gate. Don't just focus on the physicality of this. I know that's fun. It's kind of the more glamorous side of Train to Hunt, is all the training you do, but the shooting is super important. So make sure you're getting out there and running those draw and hold scenarios. That's 1 shot in under 5 seconds, that 2 shot and 10-second follow-up shot scenario. Those 3 things I just mentioned are probably the 3 biggest shots I see people mess up on when it comes to this specialty challenge course. So you're going to have to move a little bit of weight. It's going to be a lot of running, a lot of shooting. We covered that in the last video. Just to cover it again, you're going to be running somewhere around 4-ish miles in this new course design. So that's something to think about. It'll be 2 on that front end, ran interval style, mixed up with the physical challenges and shooting. And then you're going to have 2-ish miles out on that Meat Pack. So you can garner yourself anywhere from 3 minutes to 6 minutes, depending on how your nearest opponent shoots over them. That could be considered like a mile head start-ish. You know, if you're running a 6-minute mile, a mile over your opponent, that's huge just from shooting. So again, shooting, super, super important in this. One thing to think about, and this is going to be kind of my biggest tip, words of wisdom to you. If you are a rookie coming into this sport, into this arena, find a coach. Find somebody who's offering you some kind of wisdom that will take you under their wing and show you the way. There's a lot of different programs out there. I think Steve Dons is Elevation Fitness. He coaches a bunch of athletes. There's the Fit for the Hunt guys, Orion and Shanley and all them down in Colorado, Denver area. I myself run Team Omega Wolf. The Train to Hunt, they've got their own programming. Find somebody, get some sort of advice or program to help you from these people who have already been doing it. Because one thing I saw last year's in Nationals is the veterans have a huge advantage over the rookies. If you're not already a member, I would highly recommend you become a member of Scott Carr's Hammered and Chisel Facebook group, because you're going to see what some of these top athletes out there are doing to prepare for this competition. For those of you who think you might come in because you're a great CrossFit athlete or a great Spartan racer and dominate this competition, I've got some news for you. These guys are freaking animals. You look at Scott Carr, the guy went from what some would consider a little out of shape to just a beast. The man is an animal. So, and he's in the Masters competition. I would have a hard time beating him in the Open. He's just a beast. So they're posting workouts in that group. I highly recommend checking it out. If not, check out one of those other coaching organizations I mentioned. Get yourself a leg up on your competition. Moving on from there, something else I see a lot and I get questioned about a lot is bags. So here I got this nice 40-pound sandbag. For those of you who don't know, it's a C-Line Baja dry bag. That is your 20-liter model right there. And I get asked about dimensions. People want to know dimensions of these bags. So today I brought my tape measure. There's 40 pounds in this C-Line Dryline bag. What that comes to is just around 10 inches tall by about 9 inches or so wide. You could easily fit a lot more sand in this. I know this is the type of bag they use for Train to Hunt, these C-Line bags. Then we got here, I've got this little guy, about 25 pounds. It's a 10-liter C-Line bag, dry bag, and what that measures is about 10 inches tall by about 7 or so inches wide. So you're running pretty standard 10-inch tall for both those measurements. You know, you can kind of imagine, depending on what weight you're going to be carrying, how much higher. You're really going to be going higher, not so much wider with the weight. I think 30 or 40 or 30 or 20 is kind of that standard Train to Hunt bag they're using. Other than that, there's not a lot of changes from last year. You know, you want to work all those drawing and kneelings, your specialty shots. Again, I'll post the list and all that here at the end. One thought is I might do a video on standings and rankings and where people are going to be coming in, kind of come up with some kind of leaderboard, something like that, do a little talk. If you would like to see that video, go ahead and comment below wherever you see this posted on who you think the top 3 athletes for classes will be, or who you think will be the wild cards, X Factor, something like that. And if you want me to make this video, and I'll go ahead and make some kind of leaderboard, I guess. Other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. You know, you can message me, email me at will.r.bradley@gmail.com, and I will be happy to answer your emails for any help you need in this. Other than that, go ahead, you can go to Train Heroic, check out the Team Omega Wolf training there if you want to train for an event just like this online. Or go ahead, follow the Natural Born Hunter podcast. Please subscribe. Shoot often, shoot straight.